Hello, Mark, and welcome to your deck review. I can see from your primer we are asking the age-old question, will this deck do what I want it to do consistently enough? And you talked about how much I hate Ripple, so I assume I'm going to see Thrumming Stone, and since you're in white-black, Hare Apparent? Or maybe I know there's like a cultist thing that does it, but there's no way you're on that. Primer, okay, we pulled this at pre-release. I love Convoke. Yep, it's Hare Apparent. Okay, good. I'm gonna drop a Vine Boom in just for my own sanity, but we're doing Hare Apparent. My current problem is I think Hare Apparent combos might be stealing the show a little bit too much. The fact that I'm making this overwhelming board incredibly quickly is well and good, but sometimes the commander doesn't even hit the board, as it's just better to play my artifact pieces to make more Hare value. I don't mind Hare being the main show, but I want to always hit the commander so I can roll Hare after Hare after Hare continually, rather than wanting to stick some artifact piece like Mirror Made Crown to make hundreds of rabbits. If there was a creature equivalent to that, I would want to run it. What I'm looking for first and foremost is more creatures which would allow me to sacrifice my stuff to draw cards, or another pretty good advantage engine I might not be aware of. I want this deck to sit in like a high bracket 2 to comfortably in bracket 3, as that's where my regular playgroup seems to be shifting towards. Ignoring any of that fucking each player should show their game plan bullshit. We've had turn 5 blowouts by a will deck, da. Okay, great. While playing this deck when convoking, I found saving any black creatures is the best way to play. You have so much access to white mana through your rabbits, it feels very nice to completely pay those costs with my army of rabbits, and that part of the deck brings me great joy. Also, I've found if I get the Thrumming Stone, it's better to not get all 33 hares if I manage to hit it. I stop near 7, as most of the value comes from the hares entering with other hares on the battlefield, and the stone is a cast trigger. All of the hares enter at the same time and make minimal rabbits. You should call a judge for that last part, not a rules lawyer. I am pretty sure that works the opposite of the way you think it does. If you grab, let's say, all 33 Hare Apparents out of your deck, so you have one Hare Apparent, or no, you have Thrumming Stone, and you cast one Hare Apparent, and you put 32 Hare Apparents on the stack. First of all, I don't believe those enter at the same time, because you're still putting spells on the stack. Like Ripple is still a trigger. It is still casting a new spell, creating a new Ripple trigger. When you run out of Hare Apparents, they still have to come off the stack one at a time. But even if they did all enter at the same time, 32, all the Hare Apparents would see 32 other Hare Apparents enter at the same time, if they enter simultaneously. So let me look at the rulings on this. Whenever you cast a spell, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may cast spells with the same name as that spell from among the revealed cards without paying their mana cost, but the rest on the bottom of your library. Yeah, that to me, that seems like we are still putting spells on the stack. You reveal the top 4, cast all thing, put the rest cards on the bottom. New Surging Flames are on the stack on top of the other instance of Ripple, so they'll resolve next. Each of them also has 2 instances which trigger separately, and the process continues. So first of all, it is optimal to, I think, grab every rabbit, but that is beside the point of how the deck is currently working. The other thing, with respect to Hare Apparent combos stealing the show a little bit too much, that's going to happen just by design. I don't know if there's a satisfying way around that. I was going to say a healthy way, but I think the answer here is there may not be a satisfying way around that. Because if you get a deck to the point that it will reliably do the Hare Apparent thing, this is like, Hare Apparent is almost as much a thing in your deck as land drops are. Like, that's what your deck is about. There's, I think there's very little, hi baby. I think there's very little we can do to make Hare Apparent the star of the show and not have them steal it. But I think the things we can do for that is, what do we do that will give you more top deck access or more card draw, like you said, without, while making Urdu an important part. So I think an important part is, how do we give you cards but not give you mana? Because if we give it to you for no mana, like Thrumming Stone or Mirror Made Crown, then Heir Apparents and the artifact take over. But if we give you cards, no mana, then Erdu is still very important. We have a shitload of these. We have death ETB triggers. So we have like aristocrat stuff going on because we're going to have a big wide board of losers. And if we can play them all, sack them all, I can drain you immediately. I hate that crazy style. I hate that raw. I hate that unfettered. But I will help you because you have paid me $20, and I would throw away all semblance of commander morality for $20. So what we need is likely the ability to cast stuff off the top of our library. We have 48 creatures, which means we're almost always going to have a creature on top of the library. So what I'm thinking of first is assemble the players. It's lovely to not have to recommend very many cuts. Once each turn, Vine Boom, kill me. That's horrible. This is the type of effect we want, though. Gives castable from library. Great. Can we do this in white? Bolus will let us do it. Hakoda lets us do it for allies, but the rabbits are not allies. They're nobles. Ugh, we can't do it with Nalia Diarnis. There is maybe some incredibly crack-headed Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong plan we could do. Wow, we're out already. That's horrifying. Okay. We can't get access. We can't get access to the top part of our library, and we can't really swap to commander because you want the whole thing to be about Erdu. What does Into the Pit do? Actually, never mind. This one's perfect. We can sack one of the 1/1 rabbit tokens to get the next Heir Apparent. We basically always have. We basically always have a permanent necessary to sacrifice to pay this cost. So that one's perfect. The other thing, this one might be a little weird, but if all of your sacrifice engines are Scry or Surveil based, we can kind of get Thrumming Stone at home going. If you have, Umbral Collar Zealot and some Heir Apparents, and then you have this. Heir Apparent comes in, I sack one, scry, hope it's a Heir Apparent, free cast it. This kind of gets into the realm of like, we'll steal the show because you no longer need Erdu because we're handling the mana for you. We are so starved on these effects that maybe this is like backup commander if Erdu gets removed. But the only really good one is Into the Pit. Yeah, because that's pay life. That's only once a turn. Let's see. Assemble the players might be worth considering anyway, just to help you get more hairs in hand. Because if you draw a card, like it does help you get to the next hair, you just can't like chain through it crazy style, which I realize is a little bit disappointing. So then the next thing we need is, how do I kill these rabbits for card draw? You have Skull Clamp, which is the obvious. I wonder if we could hook you up to an Altar of Dementia, like it was a Mr. House machine, and let you play the rabbits from your graveyard. Okay, 28 cards that give castable from graveyard. What is Heir Apparent's mana value? 2. Okay, let's talk about Luris. Let's talk about Luris really quickly. I don't think you companion him. I do think he has to be just straight up in the 99. Well, actually, what would you have to cut? You would have to cut Erebos, Hardened Tactician, Krav, Mentor of the Meek, Razaketh, Soul Trader, Witch Enchanter, Yawgmoth. Okay, so almost everything good. Maybe not that then. Oh, and you couldn't do Thrumming Stone. Yeah, never mind. So I think Luris into the 99. But it's still one. I mean, it's one more. It's one more than otherwise. We might be able to just like assemble enough of these pieces that it works. But this all may end up being less good than just running card draw. Okay, hold on. Case of the Uneaten Feast. This might be the cookery. So we get a life gain effect. Who cares? To solve, you've gained 5 or more. Solved, sack the case. Creature cards in your graveyard gain. You may cast this card from your graveyard until end of turn. So this means we can build the chain of I sacrifice for card draw, I sacrifice for self mill, and then on any turn where I have like a medium amount of rabbits come in, I can sack it and then begin the endless convoke chain of stuff in my graveyard. I kind of like that. So I'm going to put this up there with Into the Pit. So I think Into the Pit in Case of the Uneaten Feast, these are your two big ones. I think Luris and Assemble the Players are like B team. This is from among things we've surveilled. I think Magus of the Will is on the same type of thing as Case of the Uneaten Feast. It's more mana intensive to start, which I don't think you care about, right? Because we're convoking all of these for free potentially. Okay. I'm kind of feeling something here. It gets a little bit more combo-y, but we have fucking Thrumming Stone in the deck. What are we talking about? It gets a little bit combo-y. But this would be, you might want to think about a Altar of Dementia, a Mesmeric Orb, because now all of a sudden, Hares in the graveyard are Hares in your second hand, and we can do this big, crazy convoke reanimation turn. Please have power. No. No, we can't give you Leonardo's Sewer Samurai. God damn it. Oh, and that's it. Holy fuck, man. Ugh, we can't do Grim Captain's Locker because it has black, and we can't convoke the black. Okay. Okay. This is night cards. Osteomancer Adept is almost there, but not quite, because I don't think our graveyard will be... I don't think our graveyard will be full enough that we can forage every single time. That's like Underworld Breach behavior, and I imagine even if we do Altar of Dementia, we're probably going to have like 15 total cards in the graveyard. 8 of them will be Heir Apparents. I mean, it might let us get like 2 back, which is genuinely, that's like drawing 2 Heir Apparents. So I'm gonna upgrade this to your A roster. Case of the Uneaten Feast, Magus of the Will, Into the Pit. These 3 cards could turn on some really crazy shenanigans for you that let you play a fuckload of rabbits in one turn and require Erdu to be there so that Erdu is still important. Like, they require setup. If you want to support these cards, I would definitely do Altar of Dementia as one of my rabbit sacrifice outlets. I think Into the Pit is a better one. Because we'd rather go off the top than Graveyard, because we want to keep Heir Apparents on the field generally, but I do think there is a chain of like sack cast from grave that we can do. And then more responsible, less crackheaded. I think that one's like, that's volatile. If it works, you will love it. Might not work. Less volatile is Luris of the Dream Den, Osteomancer, Assemble the Players. These are going to let you do the same thing, but only once each turn, which will act as pseudo card advantage. Particularly Luris of the Dream Den, it would be pretty nice to, sack one, sack one to any of these guys, and then boom, immediately back. Other things we can do. There's Pitiless Carnage, other good card draw spells. Plumb the Forbidden. This is one or more creatures, you copy it every time you draw that many cards. If you are trying to chain into this crack-headed combo turn, you can sack all your Hare Parents. If you're not, you can sack all of the tokens made by Hare Parents. And then this tag is probably also valuable for us. Draw, and then O-tag, sacrifice, outlet, creature, commander, Orzhov. I think given your density of creatures and density of hares, you could probably replace the ones that are like Scry or Surveil with just a thing that was like Village Rites, Deadly Dispute. Like just getting the cards in hand is probably better for you. This only cares about black creatures. Priest of Forgotten Gods is kind of cute. You turn the 1/1s into fuel for her. It gives you a way to slow down other people's boards because you make them sacrifice creatures as well. And it's not like Grave Pact. We're not doing an overwhelmingly crushing edict. And it gets you a card in hand. Sephiroth almost certainly works. It just depends if we're a bastard or not. Let me relook at the instructions. Yeah, is it cohesive enough to do what I want every time, and what am I missing that would make it better or more consistent? I think these are the things that would give you, like, cooler windmill slam turns to do. The stuff about how do I cast my hares out of the graveyard. Stuff that does not get you a card in hand, worse than stuff gets you card in hand. Crazy advice, I know, but if you want generally better or more consistent, I would just replace anything that doesn't put a card into your hand with something that does put a card into your hand. Because ideally, we are just going to play Erdu, and then every spell we care about is free. So we can cast spells. We just need to draw more spells. That's only once each turn. That's a non-token. A lot of these are pretty lateral moves. I don't really think you can go wrong here. I think this is just like up to your own testing of how many cards do I need to draw for it to truly feel good. What you have definitely works. If the thing you care about doing is I play Hare Apparent, you are unstoppably going to get Hare Apparent, and I think this is other. Yeah, number of others. So the first one doesn't do anything. Second one does a little something. I put this on the rabbit, draw 2. And like now, I'm off to the races. Everything from here is fine. I make 2 rabbits, put bang bang with my other 2 mana, draw 4. This is where I would like to begin advising to you the possibility of doing like the Graveyard Storm turn, where we start just, I have to discard to maximum hand size. Oh my god, how terrible. Oh my god, how awful. Anyway, Erdu, convoke a rabbit. Convoke a rabbit. I don't get to skull clamp it, but I can convoke as many rabbits as I would otherwise have access to. So I think the big turn is the turn after this one, because we also have Mirror Mind Crown. Yeah, from here, something gets fucked up. I have a lot of faith that the deck will operate as you want it to, but I think the ceiling is pretty far away from the floor, because the ceiling is I have a way to draw cards via sacrifice. The floor is I play guys and don't sacrifice them. So anything that doesn't draw a card, and if you do this Magus of the Will, Case of the Uneaten Feast thing, milling yourself is drawing a card. Keep that in mind. As long as you get a way to draw a card off of something dying, you are cooking hard. You are cooking hard. It will definitely work. Take into consideration the suggestions I gave you. I don't think you've done anything disastrously wrong here. I hope you enjoyed, and please have no fun with this deck at all. I mean, honestly, what's wrong with